Hey there, this is going to be a tutorial on how to make terrain for RWMC. So, we have a room here. This is MS Vent 21. So, this is mostly natural. Basically, all the walls are dirt, stuff like that. So, to start, we can enter the Builder menu by pressing right shift. Alright, so this looks like a lot of stuff. It is. We're only going to be using a few of the things here. So, I'm going to click on Rock Tool up here. See, it opens a new menu here. We're going to leave all that untouched. Then we're going to come over here to Active Block, click on that, and select Dirt. Right. So now you can see this pop up. If we right click and drag over an area, it's going to draw a line of dirt. Right. Undo that with Control Z. So you can also change the radius of that over here. Just click and drag with Control click, and then you can write a number. Right, so we're just going to use Rock Tool, and we're going to go all along the outer edge of the room. Just outline all the empty space. Okay. Doesn't need to be exact. Just get as close as you can. Okay, so I'm gonna change the radius, make it a bit smaller to get in these cracks here. Alright. So then I'm just gonna keep going around the room, doing the same thing, and this is gonna be just laying out the caves. So if I look at the map, you can see these darker areas go farther back. So I'm gonna leave some more space near those. Okay. This seems like a pretty skinny room, so I'm gonna just cut it off there. Okay, so we're just gonna do this. Alright, so got the base outline done, so now I'm just gonna fill in these areas. Little outcroppings of the cave. I'm gonna probably make these a bit narrower. Seems skinny. Don't need to follow the room outline exactly here. Do what you think looks good. One more over here. So finish this side, the cave, the outline. So now I'm gonna go over to the other side. Alright. At some point I did this by accident. Don't know if I see it. Just scrolling up in history. And maybe that one. A lot more blocks than I expected there. So I'm gonna magic select this tool up here. Gonna set the limit to maybe 2,000. Alright, higher than that. 9,000. Alright. Then right click here and there. Just get as much of it selected as I can. Then backspace. Alright, so that deletes all the dirt that you selected. If there were other dirt caves nearby, you might have to be a bit more careful to not select them as well, but in this case, that works well. Alright, so back to rock tool, increase the radius a bit more, and then do the same on this side. So we followed the outlines exactly on the other side, so might cut off the caves a bit earlier here. Entirely up to you. So yeah, I'm going to make this side a lot shorter. Okay. Almost done with the outside already. Side went a lot quicker. I think I made a mistake there. Yeah, so just Control Z to undo. Do it again. Right, it's inside. Gonna lower the radius. Just get all these outcroppings. Alright. So at this point, I'm gonna press right shift again to exit the menu. The outline has kind of served its purpose. So we're gonna select it all with the move tool here. If you don't see the move tool, hover over it, hold Alt, and then scroll wheel to it. Right, so we're gonna left click one point, one corner, right click the other, and just move the outline out. Right click to confirm. Alright. Back to the editor menu. Okay. So things look pretty good. Also, I'm gonna decrease my speed down here. Way too fast. Right, things look pretty good here. We've got the basic outline done. It just needs a bit of smoothing. So, over in the tools menu, I'm gonna select smooth. Again, whole bunch of settings. Gonna leave it all the same except radius. I'm gonna decrease radius a bit because it's a pretty small area. And we're gonna go around basically everywhere. Just you need to get this line where the outline once was, and then you should probably go over everywhere else too. Just right click and drag until it looks good. Right. Right, so while I'm doing this, I'm also checking for mistakes or things I don't like. So this cave right here, in the map, it looks like kind of like a tiny outcropping. So I'm gonna go back to the rock tool and just fill in one side, and then maybe curve the cave a little bit, just so it's not a straight line. This room's looking a bit straight right now. Okay. Get all this. Now, kind of curves. Looks a bit better. Then go back to smooth. Smooth it all out. Alright. Over here, I'm just going to add a bit more of the rock tool. Alright, and up here I'm also going to add a bit, because this is pretty narrow passage to get up to this top area here. So I'm just going to block off the edges. Alright. Smooth this out as well. Alright. This area kind of like fades to a much narrower passage. So I'm just gonna add that. Smooth tool isn't great for super narrow areas. So final tool I'm gonna use is melt. So this basically takes away blocks. So I'm gonna set it to a very small radius. That's a bit too small. Right click and drag and just cut out a bit more here. There we go. Can I smooth that out? Kinda. Alright. So, let's see how the room looks. Gonna just fly through a wall here. I do like the top section, that's looking good. This next section, this side fits pretty well. I don't really like this side. Just looking at the map, this should go up quite a bit. I'm gonna melt out a good amount here. Control Z to undo a couple of those. That went higher than I realized. Okay. Rock tool. I want to make this tunnel diagonal as well. So let's block off a whole bunch. And let's see what it looks like after we smooth it. Rock tool here. Let's see if it melt again. Alright, so what does that look like now? Well, to smooth again, just get rid of that. That looks a bit better. That's more like what it's supposed to be. Okay. I don't really like this area. And then just block that off. Smooth it. Yeah, all of this. Okay. So top area is good. Bottom area, miss some smoothing here. Checking the map. I think this area. Rock toward a bit, and then melt goes backwards a bit here. That could be awkward to do in 3D. But we'll see how it looks. Smooth it. Oops. Oh, I guess that's fine. We can just go out, fix that rock tools out here. Okay. Not bad. I think this area can get walked off. Just some smoothing there. That looks awkward. Just fill that in. Want gentle curves basically everywhere. Hey, let's see how that looks now. That's good. Like that. Alright, so we have our entire room outline done. So now what? So we're gonna go back into Axiom menu. And let's see. We're gonna magic select. Gonna up the limit basically all the way. And make sure I select all the dots. Okay. So then we are going to go over to Noise Painter. This is going to color the room with the blocks we want. So, what blocks? This is green, probably diorite. That's what it was made for. Maybe some deep slate copper. What else? Might leave a bit of dirt in. Yeah, let's do dirt, and then maybe a bit of spruce planks. And that seems good. I'll add some dripstone, why not? It's not really meant for this purpose, but it's green. Alright, so I'm going to scroll down in the tool options, and over here, I'm going to add a couple blocks. First one, diorite. What is it? Deep slate copper? Yeah. Okay. Dirt. Spruce planks. What was the last one? Dripstone? Dripstone. Alright. So we have everything we have all the dirt selected, so we can only edit the dirt right now. So I'm just gonna right click and drag, and you see that doesn't really look good. So undo that. We're going to need to adjust the percentages. So I want a lot more green. Whole bunch of deep slate copper. Bit more, no, whole bunch more diorite, bit more deep slate copper. I'm going to drag the other green up. That determines the order. Put a decent amount of that in. Then lower dirt and then spruce. How does that look? That's better. Still not perfect. I don't really like the brown. I don't think the brown fits with this room. So I'm just going to remove that. Minus, minus. Also down here, you can get a preview of what the noise looks like. Okay. And I'm going to press Ctrl-Z, undo painting from before. How does this look now? Better, but I don't really want big patches like that. Also, I'm just going to up the radius of the brush here so I don't have to drag as much. Right, so I'm going to lower the scale. You can see preview here compared to like if I raise the scale, big blobs. So lower the scale, good amount. Decent. Want more diorite again. Up diorite, lower the other two. I kind of like that. It looks weird right now, but once we add the water in, all the plants, all the detailing, it's going to look a lot better. So I'm going to keep that. I'm going to paint the rest of the room as well. Alright. I think I got everything. Yep. Okay, so that's basically it for how to do basic terrain room outlines. Alright, so I know that last room didn't look super impressive because it was just terrain. We didn't have any plants yet or anything. So now I'm here in Lushmire, one of the modded regions we're adding in the background for RWMC, and I'm going to show you a few more advanced things. So you can see ground is very similar. Like, we use the same 3 blocks, and we're at about the same level of detailing with the terrain. So one thing you can do is something like over here, where steeper cliffs have dirt on them. Kind of more realistic looking. So I'm gonna see if I can find a spot. Like over here, this area should probably have the same thing. So I'm gonna enter the menu, and I'm gonna go down here to tool masks. I'm gonna drag over ore and 3 blocks. So first block, diorite, deep slate copper, and dripstone. And I also use a bit of tuff here. Alright, so got those selected. And then I'm going to go up here to the painter tool. And lower the radius quite a bit. And then right. Then I'm going to go over here, active block, dope. So then I'm going to click and drag. And you can see I can drag over here, nothing's happening. But when I drag over any of these mask blocks, it changes to dope. So I'm just going to keep adjusting the radius and get all the steep sections as best as I can. So there are ways to do this automatically, which would be good for super complicated or really big builds, like the Outer Expanse Canyon. But for something like this, I just like doing it by hand. Okay. and super small brush for just this last section here. Alright, so I'm going to add plants now. So, to do this, we're going to go up to the stamp tool here, and we need to make a blueprint for each plant we want. So, I've done this already. So basically, I saved a blueprint for a plant that's 1 block tall, 4 blocks tall, 7 blocks tall, 10 blocks tall, and then one for each of these details too. So I'm going to add each one. Okay. I don't want the others, just these. And then I'm going to adjust the percentages. So I want a decent chance for 1 block tall. I think 2 blocks tall are the best for this. 3 blocks tall, a bit less. Actually, a lot less for 3 blocks, and pretty rare for 4 blocks. Then these small ground plants, I want a pretty good chance. Ferns can be pretty rare. Alright, so then up the radius quite a bit. And base chance, you can adjust that too. And let's just see how this looks. That is okay. I think most cases you want less plants, but considering this is lush mire, I think a lot of plants is pretty good. I am still gonna lower it a little bit though. And I think I'm gonna up the chance for the short ones a bit more. Let's try that again. And yeah, I think this looks pretty good. So undo that. So I only want this place on the ground here. But right now, if I drag it up here, it would also appear up there. I don't want that. So I need to make a mask. So I'm going to drag an or, and then a whole bunch of block equals. And I need one for each of these ground blocks. So diorite, dripstone, there's tough, and there's copper, deep slate copper. Alright, so now if I drag this, it won't place up here. So that's what I want. I am gonna increase the radius to the max. Could control click and write in a bigger number, but I don't think that's necessary. And I'm just gonna drag everywhere. Probably do this twice. Or in a couple different clicks, just so it doesn't lag as badly. Alright. And there we go. Just like that, entirety of Lushmire has plants. So, what if I want them up here now? So, I'm gonna, oh, I can, yeah, lower the radius a little bit. I want shorter plants here. So I'm just gonna adjust chances. I think 2 blocks tall is the max. I want no 3 or 4 blocks tall. I do want a decent amount of small plants, and I'll up ferns again. Okay. And I want way less plants, so I'm going to lower the base chance here. So then, need to change the mask now. So, drag all these, don't want it placing on any of those blocks. Instead, I just want it on mangrove. Let's see how this looks. Not nearly enough plants. Up the base chance again. I like that. That's pretty good for a start. Right. So if I were making an actual room, I would probably be a lot more careful. Yeah. But since this is just background area for now, I like how this looks. So once these become actual rooms, I'll probably take out all the plants and redo them. So how would I take out the plants? So go up to Painter here. Gonna up the radius all the way. Gonna change the active block to air. And then we need to mask it to the plants. I have a preset for that. Basically says if it's any of these blocks, I can affect it. I'm just going to right click and drag, and that removes all the plants. So yeah, if you want to save a preset, just click the plus here, write whatever you want to name it, then just press save. And you can load them here. That goes for any tool. Alright, so that's basically how to do terrain.